Hi everyone, I'm Mandy. Thank you for being here. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 different ways that you can pay for an ISA. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you my general feelings on ISA compensation, having been one for the last 4.5 years. The first way you can pay your ISA is using the 3-tier method. You pay them for each hour worked, and then you give them a bonus for every appointment scheduled, and then once the deal closes, they get another bonus, which is a percentage of the commission. And this is the way that I have been paid on up through this point. I think this is a really good method. If you just pay your ISA a straight hourly wage, they're not going to be thinking about getting that appointment scheduled and what comes after the appointment, the closing. They're just going to be thinking about getting their dials in. So they're not going to be focused on the end game of what we're trying to do here, which is appointments and then listings and then closings, right? So you want them to be involved in the full picture. An hourly only model is not good. So you pay them the hourly, and then they're incentivized every time they schedule an appointment. And that's important because at the appointment, that's where things happen. You either have the buyer agree to working with you, or you secure the listing. So if you're paying them by the hour and you're giving them an incentive every time they schedule an appointment, you're probably thinking, okay, we don't need to pay them part of the commission, a bonus off that. That's not necessary. But here's why I believe it is necessary. Now, ideally, once the agent gets in front of the potential client, they have created a bond or have attempted to create a bond with them so that they will enlist our services. But that doesn't always happen immediately on the spot. Sometimes they're just not ready, even though they may have taken a liking to the agent that's met with them. They're just not ready to sign. They've got other things they're focused on. Maybe they're meeting with other agents, so there's more competition around the corner. So the agent should stay in touch with the seller or the prospective buyer. That's their job, right? Because they've kind of gotten past the hostess stand. I like to say it. The ISA is kind of like the hostess stand. Now they've moved on. They've sat at the table with the server, somebody who has more knowledge about the transaction or the food, however you're looking at it, and that person should take the responsibility of taking care of this person. But the agent gets busy. They're not at a desk all the time. They're running around. And a lot of times, they can't follow up maybe as long as necessary. It might be months before they're ready to sign. That's why you want the ISA involved past the appointment. Now, ideally, the agent should follow up once they've met with the potential client. But if it's taking a long time, you got to put the ISA back on them. And if they're invested with the end result, meaning the closing, and they're going to be getting a percentage of the commission, they'll be more inclined to get back on that lead and continue with the follow-up. The second way to pay an ISA is pretty straightforward. You simply outsource the job to an ISA company that handles the hiring of the ISA, the training, and the accountability metrics to make sure that they're performing for you. Now, I don't have experience with this personally, but I have looked online at different ISA companies, and the monthly rates that I've been seeing are anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500 a month for an ISA. Now, if you decide to go that route, you want to confirm with the company, how many hours is this ISA working for me? How many calls are they making? Are they dedicated just to me in my city? Are they working for other brokers? And you really want to make sure how the company is going to hold the ISA accountable to production. The third way to pay your ISA only applies if the ISA has a real estate license. If they don't have a real estate license, you cannot pay them this way. With this way, you're not paying an hourly rate, you're not paying an appointment bonus, you're only paying a percentage of the commission. So it's kind of like a referral fee in the real estate world, which is usually 25%. Obviously, you can negotiate this with the ISA, but that's kind of what it is in most areas. So it's really risk-free for you, and the ISA takes on the risk that you're going to produce a closing out of it. Okay, so what are my thoughts about compensating your ISA having been in this position for 4.5 years? If I can underscore anything to you, it's take care of your ISA and they will take care of you. Your ISA has a front row view of all the money coming in the door as a result of their hard work and all the appointments that they've scheduled. They can see it. They can do math. They have the calculator. If your business is growing, but their income is not growing, they're going to notice that, and they're going to ask you for a raise, or they're going to ask to renegotiate their position. Make sure that they are always incentivized to grow as you're growing. It's very, very important, especially in the beginning. The ISA is creating their pipeline. They don't have a lot going on in the beginning, but once that pipeline matures and the listings start going up and then the closings start happening, you're going to see that money rolling in the door. So if you're growing, the ISA should be growing as well. Do not neglect your ISA. They should grow with you, and it's not a good business decision because they will go elsewhere if that happens. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I hope you got value out of the video. If so, please leave me a thumbs up down below and consider subscribing to the channel. More great content is coming your way.